Hey all, welcome to ShareTreck. This is Raj here. Friends, I hope you are able to hear me. And my indicator shows that, yeah, it's going on. So for this morning, I would say that Wall Street is looking to rebound after two down sessions as market participants digest the Fed chair's caution regarding overvalued equities and await key data. Hi, hot dog. Good morning. Good evening to you. Key data like durable goods orders, GDP growth, and existing home sales. Meanwhile, we have seen that the S&P 500 has climbed 13% year to date. The AI sector's rally has stalled for now, with NVDA, Oracle, and Micron all facing profit-taking pressure due to the tremendous gains that they have had, amid concerns around monetization of recent investments and extended valuations. And I've made quite a few videos on these topics. And most recently, I think I have made two videos so far about NVIDIA itself, one about CoreWeave investment, and the other about their investment into Intel, I think, and also their there were a couple of other videos that I had made, basically making the case that they're building a house of cards. They were a tech titan doing all fantastic IP production and everything. But then we had a lot of factors clouding it out. First is the government's approach to semiconductors, sending it to China, exporting it to other places, all the obstacles they are putting on the path. The second one is the vulnerability of TSMC located in Taiwan. So all the efforts being done to make indigenous chip manufacturing possible in the US, all of these things and the CHIPS Act, everything has distorted the entire sector a little bit. And the biggest distortion was in Intel. And when NVIDIA invested in Intel, I think that's another aspect that added a little more to the chaos in my mind about how to view NVIDIA. Now, investors are paying close attention to today's cluster of economic releases, and the last big batch of earnings reports for the quarter is going to be headlined by companies like Costco, Accenture, and Jabil. Globally, shares are trading mixed following a pause in Wall Street's momentum, while energy stocks outperform and real estate or materials lag. New U.S. home sales reported a sharp beat, supporting housing-related names, but broader sentiment remains cautious due to potential government shutdown threats and also due to ongoing impacts of President Trump's tariffs on financials as well as U.S. exporters. On the other hand, the VIX dropped 2.8% yesterday. This morning, it's up again, as you will see when we go to the TradingView platform. Yesterday, it dropped 2.8% because traders were looking for more defensive positions. And as always, I've started a new segment, and it's going to be there most of the times. It is the 5 biggest US pre-market movers. And I'm going to take you to the TradingView platform in order to show you how they are performing. The idea of putting the biggest pre-market movers is to provide an opportunity to consider shorting. Again, whatever I'm doing here is as a retail investor. I'm not a financial professional. So please do your own due diligence. Check with your financial advisor before you do any trades. But here are some ideas. So here we are in the TradingView platform, and I'm going to show you those trading ideas first. The first one is PepGen Inc., where you can see that PepGen Inc. has gone up by around, I think at this point of time, 133.46%. That's huge. When I was writing the script, it was up 89%. It's based on a positive news on its gene therapy pipeline and new strategic partnerships. The next one I want to talk about is WORK Medical Technology Group, WORK. Its symbol is WOK, and it's up 54% at the time of my creating the script, but right now it's only up 16.27%. So the gains have been given away a little bit out here. It has been rallying on upbeat preliminary earnings and fresh product launches in medical technology. The next one I want to talk about is OFA Group, or OFAL, up 39%. At the time of writing this script, gains were attributed to significant insider buying and expectations for strong quarterly results. But some of those gains have already been given up. It's at 28.57%. Then we have 22nd Century Group, which is up 33% at the time of writing the script, but right now it's up 23.18%. The reason for this jump is FDA-related news and speculation about its reduced nicotine product approvals. And then we have another company called Armlogy Holdings Corp. It's a logistic company. Ticker symbol is BTOC. At the time of writing the script, it was up 32%, seeing momentum after announcing major new logistic contracts and expanding international reach. And right now, it's up 16.22%. So obviously, it has given off some of its gains. It seems to me that the pre-market action today is driven by biotech, medical tech, and logistics stocks, all responding to news, catalyst, and strong momentum. So I'm thinking that we should expect volatility in these names because profit taking will ensure. And I think stocks in the biotech or medtech and logistics sector could probably be a little bit more positive today during the trading, assuming this sentiment prevails. So that said, let us go and have a look at S&P 500 futures. S&P 500 futures are down 0.32%. So one of the things that I'm seeing here is that even if I thought this was a double bottom and took out a target, we were way ahead above that. So there was no reason for us to go that high. And likewise, I'm not seeing any reason for us to come down because I haven't seen any topping tail or any bearish sign up there in the chart. And also, our momentum is pretty elevated. RSI is still bullish. Market sentiment is also bullish. So given that, I'm going to cautiously watch this as a potential bull flag being formed with the support today at somewhere around 6,578.75 and the resistance today at around 6,758. So this could as well become a bull flag and then break out on the upside, which is what bull flags typically do. They have a greater probability of breaking out on the upside. So I want to watch this. And our flag, bull flag, is yay long. So it is this long, right? So I'm thinking that as long as we don't fall below this level, and when I say this level, I'm talking about somewhere around 6,603, I think I'll continue to consider this as a bull flag. But if we fall below that, then there is a good chance that it's going to be a bear channel. Now, we have this area out here where we had a wick coming in. Of course, it's not a gap up as such, but I would think that we have tremendous amount of support at 6,660.75. Right now, we are exactly at that level. So whether we're going to fall down or not is anybody's question. So leave it out there and we'll see when the market opens. NASDAQ has the same configuration, same thing that I said to S&P 500 applies for NASDAQ. And I would say support for NASDAQ should be at 24,478 and resistance should be somewhere around 25,046. DXY or dollar index is up 0.05% and it continues to be getting a support from 97.321 and it has a resistance at 99.171. VIX today, as I mentioned, is elevated as compared to yesterday. It's up 4.64% and we have gold also up 0.42% despite the fact that dollar index has gone up. This tells us a story that fundamentally there is a weakness and people are looking for security in gold. And we have a long-term target. I want to just reiterate it. It's around 3,898.78. We have a resistance today, which is going to be somewhere around 3,764. Right now, we are at 3,751. So that's the story out here. So this is the creation of a bull flag, in my opinion. We will see a few more candles and then we could break out. That is the probability. However, if we fall below 50% mark of the flagpole, then I'll start thinking of it as a bear channel unless it proves otherwise. Put call ratio is more bullish today as compared to yesterday. And I'm looking at Canadian 5-year bonds, which is starting to firm up a little out here on the yield section. Not very good news for the real estate sector, but we have seen some activity here in Canada. I'm happy about it right now because mortgage renewal rates are still locked in at around 3.84%. It was earlier 3.99. As we go closer to the 3.5%, things start looking much better for most people. But even then, people who are renewing after a 5-year mortgage, anywhere in the next 6 months window, they are going to see a doubling of their mortgage rate most probably, and that's a big hit still. But it's way better than 4.5% renewal or 5.5% renewal. So I'll take that any day. Now, let's go on next to look at AI. Sorry, let's look at the indicators first. So in indicators, S&P 500 has come back into the parallel channel, which has been with us from the 24th of June 2025. And the interesting thing is that around 24th of June 2025, we not only had a gap up, but also this gap up happens to coincide with where we topped out on the previous occasion on 11th of June 2025. So basically, I'm going to do a minor adjustment out here and just going to pull it out to the top of the wick and the bottom of this candle. And I would hazard a guess that we are going to get some serious support out here at around 6,065.16. And before that, we'll get a very good support here. I'm going to change the color out here to green. Sorry, give me 1 second. Okay, I'll fix this up later. Here. Yeah, so I'll make this a green line, and I'm thinking that this is going to be a line of support. Also, the bottom of this parallel channel is going to be a support, and we also get a temporary support or a minor line of support in the middle of this parallel channel. So I would say that for today, I would look at support somewhere in the region of 6,597 for S&P 500. NASDAQ is down 0.31% in pre-market trades. It is still finding support at 24,513 out here on the parallel channel. But I can see that in the pre-market session, it's already at 24,503. So it's fallen below this diagonal line of support of the parallel channel. So I'm thinking that that's going to be the resistance for today. If we open below it, if we open above that, then that's going to be a line of support. Either way, I'm looking forward to it entering back into this parallel channel and getting a very strong support at 23,941.76 in the near term. Then we look at QQQ, which is down 0.52% in pre-market trade. And I think it's going to get a support at 590.92. Right now, it's at 593.02. We have seen a turnaround here, but I do not see a specific bearish candle out here, which can tell me that we can take this to the bank. So I'm going to be careful. I'll treat this as a potential bull flag in formation until it goes past 50% of the flagpole. So for it to go below 50% of the flagpole, first it has to break this diagonal line of support. We'll watch this as we go ahead. And then I'm going to look at AI. In AI, NVDA is down 1.07%. It's coming very close to the support of 173.95. Right now, pre-market, it's at 174.93, down 1.15%. I still have 100 units of NVIDIA on the Canadian side, so I'm going to look at disposing it off today if it does not bounce off this support line. And then we have Meta. Meta is down 0.74%. And it has managed to claw back some of the losses it had yesterday, but it is coming down quite fast. It opened much lower during the day and then went up, and now it's on its way back. So let us see what happens when the market opens, because it anyway has got very good support somewhere around 747.95, failing which it has support as 737.96. Google is down 0.94%. And out here again, I do not see a topping tail or anything. We have a gap up that needs to be completed. And typically at gap ups, you have a huge support. Right now, it's straddling that support at 24.22. Right now, it's at 245.22. Right now, it's at 245.30. So I think there is going to be very strong support out here. But if that support breaks, then our next support is going to be at 241.62. And once that happens, we have a gap fill complete. Typically around that time, it could bounce up. If it does not bounce up, then we will have new predictions, because there is another gap fill to be done. Any of these kind of gappy movements is called irregular price movement, and that has to be softened out in future. Amazon is down 0.22%. It has not been able to break out above yesterday's close. So that's again a bearish sign. Market momentum is also weak. MACD is also very bearish, and market sentiment is also bearish. So I think it's on the way down right now. Apple is up 0.13%. But it has to do a little bit of a gap fill out here. Maybe that is something that might pull it back down here, given that the entire market is going weak. So I'm going to watch that, and I'll consider that there's going to be a huge support at the gap up location at 248.11. Microsoft is down 0.36%. It has resistance at 514.72, support at 497.41. Tesla is down 1.53%. It is consolidating a lot out here with Tesla. I am like once bitten, twice shy. I still have the shorts with me, but I don't want to comment anything because I don't see this as a bull flag. I just see it as a bullish consolidation. And I don't have any signal that has been broken for the topping tail that we had out here. We have not been able to go above that and extinguish the topping tail. So I'm reminded that we have a bearish signal out here. Maybe today is the day when it turns around and comes down decisively and goes to a gap fill out here. But I don't want to jinx my chances. So we'll leave it at that. So basically, there's a bearishness available for Tesla, apart from what is seen on the chart, which is all very bullish. So we'll leave it at that. Oracle is down 2.81%. Of course, profit taking had to be done. And also there's this gap down that is, gap up that needs to be filled up. I'm looking at all the symptoms out here being very bullish, except for the MACD, which is tending towards the signal line, trying to cross over to the bearish side. But it has a way to go. Oracle looks weak right now. AMD is down 1.49%. And probably once it breaks down below this minor line of support at 158.21, we can say that it's going to move towards the potential target of double top. Right now, it's at 158.20. So it's got another 30 cents to lose before this target becomes active again. It could anyway bounce up and start looking at a resistance of 163.07. We'll watch what happens. SMCI, as expected, is down because of all the semiconductors being down, led by NVDA. It's down 1.67%. It's going to have a minor resistance at 47.53. And I think that it's going to have a support at 44.58. Right now, it's at 45.44. Broadcom is down 1.21% in pre-market trades, and we have this huge gap up, which needs to be filled. It has got very strong resistance at the termination of the gap up, which happens to be 334.25. Right now, it's at 335.39. Palantir is down 2.70%. Our friend David Best had mentioned double top for Palantir. I still do not see the double top. We have one top here. We have another top forming out here. And I don't have a topping tail as such out here, except for this very slim doji candle. So I'm going to wait and see what happens. If we go and hit this line of resistance again and come down, then I will say it's a double top. So right now, I'm not thinking it's a double top. SMH is down 1.12%. Semiconductor ETF. SMC, I'm mistakenly, I think I mentioned it as a semiconductor ETF. Sorry about that. SMH is down 1.02%. And it has a gap fill to be done. It will get a good support at around 313.70, which is the top of the gap. And next, we look at Tempus AI, which is down 2.52%. It was unable to crack the all-time high. It could not confirm it as a support. So right now, it's marching towards a support of 76.34 for today. Next, I want to go to APLD, which our friend Hot Dog made a lot of money on. It's down 3.62%. Good call, Hot Dog, for having sold it when you did. You made a whole lot of profits. Hats off to you. I'm happy about that. Now, we have support somewhere around 20.03 and 19.15. So there's a band of support out here. So we'll watch what happens when we reach there. And then I'm looking at Rigetti. Again, this is all... I do regret having sold it at 16.10 and booking losses. I should have waited, had some patience, but I didn't know CDAC was going to have a collaboration. But anyway, all those gains have been given up in the pre-market session. So we'll watch what happens when the market opens. So that's about it. Next, I want to go into genomics. Let us look at what is happening with Prime. Prime had made good progress. We had this bullish pennant, which broke out on the upside. And for this bullish pennant, I would say that my flagpole would have been yay high. And then I would take my flagpole from here. And this is where the breakout happened. So I would have an intermediate target of around 6.3. We have only reached 5.56, briefly touched 5.63. So there are two bullish catalysts which are moving it up. So right now, Prime is showing a decline of 3.96. I'll attribute that to profit taking. I'm thinking that it's still moving further up, and it has got to meet a target of around 7.24. Now that said, let's go on to Intelia. Hot Dog is saying Intelia is moving a lot. What is the catalyst? So what is the catalyst? Well, there are some things we'll try to find out in the chart before we go to the news. So if we were to use this as a shoulder, this as a head, and this as a second shoulder, and this as a neckline, then we could see a target of roughly around 14.70. But we have gone beyond that. We went beyond that on 18th of September. So what we have here is that take the Zach's approach. Let's leave that. Last Friday, 3 most widely, etc., etc., etc. Usual Zach's. There's nothing out here. NTLA completes enrollment in pivotal study on HAE candidate. Stock up. This was on September 19th. So September 19th. So what was this? This was 18th of September. And in fact, on September 19th, the stock dropped and then went up again. So the other news we have around that time period on September 19th is Intelia Therapeutics is maintained at buy by H.C. Wainwright. I think those are the two catalysts out there. Hot Dog, I can't see anything else. If I find something, I'll mention it tomorrow. But we will take this movement upwards. I would like to see a bull flag form out here. And we had a line of resistance at 18.54. Yesterday, we nicely touched that resistance, got pushed down. And this to me looks like a topping tail out here. So we have to be very cautious with Intelia. If the topping tail is not extinguished, and to extinguish that, we have to break this line of resistance. If it's not extinguished, then we have a trend reversal, highly possible. So that said, let's look at Caribou Biosciences, which is down 0.94% in pre-market trades. And we have Beam Therapeutics down 2.08% in pre-market trades. Again, this seems to me to be like a bull flag, and it has the highest probability of breaking out on the upside. So I would consider this as a bull flag. There's another factor also that I would probably look at. So let me take this here, pull it down, and then I don't know how this missed me earlier, and take this here and put this out here. So I'm sorry, friends, I missed this cup and handle pattern earlier. It has a target of 25.87. We briefly touched that and we have come back again. So I apologize that I missed it out, but I think we still have a bullish signal out here, bull flag being formed. Market sentiment is bullish. MACD is also bullish, though moving towards the signal line. Momentum was overbought. It came down a little bit. And I think for a bull flag, we can give 3 or 4 5 or 6 candles, and then it has the highest probability of breaking out on the upside. So I'll watch this a little bit more. Our new bull flag is, in my opinion, our new bull flag is going to be this one. So if we were to fall below, I would say somewhere around 22.72. then this becomes a bearish channel for me. Altimmune, no trades pre-market. It has been consolidating a lot. People are waiting. There's a lot of expectations from Altimmune, but it's taking forever. And we have a support at 3.38. Editas is up, but this is a topping tail in my opinion. We'll have to wait and see what happens. Today it's up 0.30%. Are we going to be able to extinguish this topping tail? That's what we want to see. The support for today is pretty good. It's at 3.20. Market sentiment is bullish. MACD is bullish. Momentum is above average. RSI is getting to overbought. But I think on the RSI scale, at preliminary, initial look, I think 86.83 on the RSI scale is up to where we can go. Right now, we're only at 66.59. So there's plenty of room on the RSI. Illumina is down 0.85%. And it's exactly on top of 93.47, and it's at 93.61. So we still have support from this minor line of support. If we bounce off this, then we have a resistance at 103.32. If not, and if we break down, then I would say that we should find some kind of support around 85.48. CRISPR Therapeutics is down 2.24%. It's fallen below this diagonal line of resistance, which is a dynamic diagonal line of resistance. And for today, that resistance is at 60.78. We are at 59.94. And I'm going to pull this regression channel further. And when we pull the regression channel further, we end up being able to see that we have another support at around 60.39. So if either of these supports hold up, then we would have been fine. But unfortunately, our price is at 59.94, which is just below this parallel channel, which is at 60.39. So officially, we have entered the parallel channel. And having entered the parallel channel, the only hope for us is if we were to create another shoulder, then you could have a huge head and shoulder pattern, and that could be positive. Now, I had an earlier bearish target. I'm removing it. We'll see what happens when the market opens and we have a few more days of readings. Allergen is down 1.63%. Grail is down 2.08%. And we had a minor line of support at 45.65. Right now we are at 45.61. So we have fallen below the minor line of support. And the next support for us, I think, is going to be 41.90. PSCB is flat in pre-market trade. ARCG is down 1.07% in pre-market trade. Still getting support at 26.69 because we are at 26.71 pre-market. If we get this support and we bounce off this support, I think our resistance should be 28.09. But if we break down from there, then our support is going to be at 24.62. Vertex is up 0.37%, and we have this target of the double top, which says we should touch 370.46. I'm going to maintain that target. I am thinking of this down movement as probably, if it consolidates, I'll consider that to be a bear flag. So I'm going to let it be. And then Ginkgo Bioworks is down 1.73%. Again, this diagonal line of resistance has been converted into a support and confirmed. So we are looking at this diagonal line of support giving us some kind of a bounce back when we touch that. So this is going to be the support today at 11.06. And then I want to go to Precision. Precision is up 0.26%. Those companies, biotech companies, which were up pre-market because of FDA news and new product launches, they have a halo effect on some of our companies out here. I think companies like Precision and RARE might get some benefit out of it. And then we have RARE, which is Ultragenics, and Ultragenics is up 0.42%. We still have resistance at 29.48. So that done, let's go on and look at currencies. Where are currencies here? Okay. We have Bitcoin and USD. And when we look at that, it's simpatico to our indices. So it has also fallen, but it has not fallen down below this diagonal line of support of the parallel channel, which indicates a support at 111,041. Right now we are at 111,581. And then I'm looking at Solana. Solana continues to see drops. It is down 4.74% in pre-market trade. We had mentioned that there will be some support out here at 199.70. I'm still thinking that's going to be a support. So that should be the support for today. And then we are looking at XRP USD. XRP had bounced off, broken on the upside of this bullish pennant, and now it is straddling the diagonal line of support, which was the upper end of the bullish pennant. And we have been consolidating. Yesterday's gain has been totally wiped out. Sorry, day before yesterday's gain has been totally wiped out. And today we are going to have a support, in my opinion, at around 27.69 for XRP. Friends, that brings me to an end of today's session, and I'll catch up with you again in the next one. Bye for now.